Here we go. All right. Cheers, everyone. It is I, Amy Mitchell, Houses of Windsor, along with my tea lady bestie, Nancy Rodriguez of Cup and Crown.
Hello. Good to see you. I haven't talked with you in a while.
I know. Good to see you too. Yeah. Well, I mean, we see each other in the Friday groups, but just the two of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
We get chatted in a minute.
Amy all to myself.
So, okay, let me get my iPad back open because I'm going to attempt to follow. If anybody wants to comment, and cross your fingers that I see it and acknowledge it.
So, and I'm going to open up because you and I talked about doing this. If anyone's interested.
Okay.
So my sweet husband and one of my dearest friends gave me 2 of these. I got one from hubby, one from friend. So I gifted one of them to Amy. And if anybody's familiar with DK books, this is like the anthology, the dictionary, the encyclopedia of teas.
Yeah, it's awesome. So thank you, by the way. You're going to want to go to page 50.
It's like I feel like I'm in school again. Here we go. Well, there's 63. Hold on. I'm going to apologize. Okay. Excuse me.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, that snuck up on me. Pardon me. All right. Yes. Okay. Flavor appreciation.
Yes.
Yes, so, I have that. I have flavor appreciation. Yes. I'm not too picky about my teas.
So I figure if we want, since our water might be getting a little cool, do you want to just make the 3 cups of tea and then we'll talk and taste them in a minute?
Let's do that. That's fine. Okay. Why don't you introduce what you have shared with me and what we're going to be
doing? Oh, yes. So this month, March, was my month to pick the teas. For those of you who don't know, Nancy and I take
February, by the way.
Okay. I was even looking down at the calendar.
Is it London time? Is it March in London already? Did I miss it?
It's just March in my head.
Because we're wearing the green, because it's green, because it's doing green, and I look like a leprechaun.
I know, there, you threw me off. So for March, it was my turn, and I chose for us to, I put in the caption to face our fears with green tea. So neither one of us have ever been super fond of green tea.
No.
I have only recently, within the last couple of years, gotten into it with if they're flavored. So I'm going easy on us. We're not doing any straight up green tea. So don't be mad. We got to ease into this. We are doing Jasmine Green first. And then second is a chai green tea. And let's see. And then third is a ginger turmeric. I don't like that word. I can't say it right.
Turmeric. Some people say turmeric.
Yeah, I know. Okay, turmeric. Yeah, ginger, turmeric, green. We'll go with that.
Yeah. How would the queen say that, Amy?
And that one, okay, so that one, I haven't put water on it yet. Let me see if I can, show it somehow without making a mess. I wanted to show... So this one is really colorful. You can't really tell exactly on the camera, but there's a lot of colors happening in the ginger turmeric one.
Yes, and it has a vastly different flavor. It's a reddish, more amber color than the other 2.
Which I'm guessing the turmeric has something to do with.
Oh my goodness. I told him. So Amy, I'm still here.
Yep, I can see you.
Okay, I'm glad you can see me.
I know. Yeah, sometimes it shuts you down, but
it does. And so I have to go back in and figure out. There we go. That was my son, and I didn't pick up, but something tells me he missed his bus.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
So he's gonna have to text me that.
So you need to call him or text him.
No, he just said, sorry, I forgot you were on a call. Okay, so I'm not sure why he tried to call, so we'll figure that out.
Perfect.
But I have this. Yeah, it's on do not, my side, my computer's not do not start. Anyway, let's get back to tea.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I was gonna do a bit of show and tell. I have to show you my tea towel that I picked for today. So I have a leg lamp tea towel to
Major award. Fragile. Amy, if I can find it, because I know it's not one of the pictures that I lost. When we lived in Coronado, somebody had a huge single pane picture window. And it was an arts and crafts style home. So it was built about the same time that movie took place and everything. And in the window, they had the lamp, and outside of the window there was a bench with a big fluffy cushion with a cat napping on it. And I took the picture of it one night, and I'll have to see if I can find that for you, because
that's awesome.
Yes, it was a neat picture. So what a great movie.
That's great. Oh yeah, and you got your Truvia, right? So you got.
I did. I tried Truvia.
What'd you think of it?
So I have my sugar with me.
What'd you say?
I have my sugar with me.
Okay, all right.
No, it was, as far as a sugar substitute, I thought it was pretty good.
Right.
But I could still tell that, it's the aftertaste that I get from sweeteners, saccharides and stuff that I'm very sensitive to it, and it kind of spoils it for me. So, but thank you for giving me the samples. I do appreciate that.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, this is, I don't get the aftertaste with this one, but I do still, I guess, sugar still is stronger. It sugar does a better job. But this one will work if I'm gonna use a whole lot. Okay, taking my Jasmine out.
So he didn't miss the bus because he's walking in the door right now.
Oh, perfect.
So, yes.
But wanted to call you 2 minutes before he got here.
Hey, sweetheart. Everything okay? I do, but I was concerned that you called me. The entire audience thinks that maybe you missed your bus, but I'm glad you didn't. So. I'll talk to you later. Thanks. I can't complain. I had the whole day to myself.
I know. Oh my gosh.
It's been wonderful. So for those watching, both of my children as of today are back in school 4 days a week, all day. And this is the first full day I've had where I could get out and do stuff. And it just was not to mention that we were, I think, high of 32 yesterday, and today we're high of 53. And that,
good.
And the sun is shining, and there are picturesque clouds out there. And I've been outside taking photographs of historical places and landmarks for a friend of mine. And it's just been a wonderful day.
That's awesome.
Fun. Yeah.
That's really good. You deserve a wonderful day.
Yes, need to have those days.
Yeah. Okay, so we are starting with the Jasmine Green.
Which is a nice, I smell a sweetness to it. But I smell the jasmine, and I think I told you a story one time that I had a jasmine tea one time that it was so jasmine-y that my sister walked in from across the room and said, "Who put on perfume?" And it was like tasting perfume. So
right. So yeah, so this is one that I have had before. So I'll let you say what your first impressions are first.
As somebody who doesn't appreciate green tea, and I've had the Twinings green jasmine.
Yeah.
This is superior.
Aha.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do like that one. Very nice. There are a lot of floral notes in that one.
Yeah, I like it. It's like light. I mean, I guess because it's green tea, but it's still light for green tea. Like it's not.
It is.
As I think of it, it's not. There's not grass in there.
Thank you. I was going to say it does not taste like my lawn. Not that I have a habit of tasting my lawn.
Sure.
COVID has been strange and isolating, but I haven't gone that far.
Well, I would say if you look closely at our flavor wheel here, there is a part where it's like one of the options is sweet grass. so it is allowed. There's a seaweed.
There's asparagus and artichoke. There's fish. Can you believe that? Fish?
I don't know.
Yeah. Actual qualifications on that wheel.
I know, that's crazy. I wonder if this is like a flavor wheel in general, or is it just for tea? Is this like something you use for all things?
I don't know. When drinking tea, it may be difficult to distinguish between flavors. The flavor wheel is a visual representation of the distinct flavors and aromas found in teas.
Oh, all right. Okay. Good job reading. I'm like, we'll never know what the wheel is.
No. But I would still say that this is more in the floral for me.
Yeah, it is. Let's see. Oh, we got a couple. Oh, hey Kendra. She said, I finally get to make one of your tea talks.
Hello, Kendra.
And then I believe Syed says beautiful with hearts. So hello, Syed. Okay, so yeah, so I would say I agree, floral,
Yes.
and it is.
And not overpowering on the jasmine, which I really appreciate.
Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. So like, what when you go down to the next level of underneath floral, what does it count as? Because there's not like a jasmine, right? I don't know if I know what all of those things taste like. What all those flowers taste like.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
You get it, please?
That's okay.
Thank you.
But
I don't know. I
yeah.
almost feel that it leans a little bit toward the fruity notes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, Amy, I am so sorry. It's Steven. Can you please call him back? Amy,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous.
This is
I am so sorry.
That's okay. This is
I've
the
had
hour.
a day of not being mom, and suddenly I'm mom, and
The hour of phone calls.
everybody wants me.
That's awesome.
I don't see jasmine on here, but I kind of feel it. I don't know. Honeysuckle can be a little bit have a little bit of a perfume to it, so maybe it's
Okay.
somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it definitely stays away from the beach, the fish, and the ocean air. I don't get that.
I'm not getting that. I'm not getting any fire or
No,
dairy out of it
no, I'm not. No.
or wood.
But like I said, I almost feel like there's almost a fruitiness to it as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yes.
So,
So, okay.
right.
So now we're venturing into uncharted territories for me because these next two teas I have not tried before, and I waited to try them live with you, Nancy. These are teas that I do sell, but it's because they were specifically requested by customers, and so I sourced what they wanted and got it for them. And they
Very
seem to be
good.
pleased with it, but me being, a little reluctant to try out all the green teas,
Yes.
I was just like, we'll just
But,
let it.
but you are somebody who enjoys chai. Chai is one of your favorite teas. So
That's true. That's true.
This will be interesting to see how you respond to a green chai.
That is true because the tea leaves, I got them wet already, so I can't show them. But the tea leaves of the green chai are a strange, like curly, I don't know, shape. Like it doesn't look like what chai I'm used to, where it's like a whole mix of stuff and spices and whatever. Where's
There
my?
is there's definitely a spicy.
You can taste the
I can't figure
spice.
out what it is that I'm smelling,
Let's see.
but it reminds me of something more on the savory side than on the sweet
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, like there's something out of like it's like a holiday, Thanksgiving or something.
Something like that, right?
And there's like a final, like as far as a notes within the smell, the final one I get is celery. That's like the one that finishes
Okay.
off.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what I think I'm smelling as well.
Yeah, it's like it kind of starts as something else that I can't figure out what it is.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. I don't know. This one tastes way more green tea than the last one.
It is far from the floral and fruity notes that you and I appreciate more.
Yes.
This, if we were to go on the color wheel, this is more to me. This is more in the earthy spice, somewhere in that range, earthy wood and
I
spice.
feel like it's like earthy or like vegetal, like over there where it's like all the, you know,
Could be
grass, cooked peas.
asparagus.
Yeah, which I don't even like asparagus.
It's reminding me of something, and I can't think of what that smell is that it's reminding me of.
And it's got like, I mean, I don't know if I left it into it, but like it's got what is it? Astringent when it's kind of like bitter, right? Is that
Yes,
the
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. This
definitely
is
got
not
that.
a naturally sweet to me. To me, this is almost, a savory tea. This would be a tea that I would serve with a dinner type
Right.
meal, like with a high
Right.
tea rather than with afternoon tea. This is not an offering
Right.
I would put out for an
I
afternoon tea.
agree. I gotta say though, it smells better. Like I feel like the smell and the taste do not match up. Like the
Right?
smell smells like you're gonna get a whole lot of notes, and then
Yes,
I feel like the taste is just like, damn, there's so
yes.
much flavor.
But I think there was something in that celery that you said too, because I'll do it's a place that we used to go to in Coronado, a place called Psycho Sushi, and you would get the edamame,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it was stir fried with
Okay.
olive oil and celery salt. And there's something in that that is reminding me of celery salt. So,
Okay, that's interesting. So
mhm.
I was gonna say with the earthy, back to the earthy part, though, moss is an option for earth.
I'm going to take your word for that.
Yeah. I gotta say, it's cracking me up that one of them is damp forest, but also, like, that sounds ridiculous, but at the same time, I feel like I would know what that tastes like if I
Right.
had.
But remember, this says flavors and aromas. So
Right.
it's,
Oh, that's true. And
yeah.
aromas. Okay.
So
Yeah, that's true. A lot of, yeah, the earthy ones are definitely would be smells. Oh, geez,
yeah.
barnyard. I don't,
Is that really in here?
it's under earthy. It's the red one.
Oh my stars. Okay, so listeners, yeah, under earthy, and again, here's that color wheel I showed you.
Oh, yeah, good job. Yeah, I've like
Here's
stationed mine with
earthy.
like sticky stuff. I can't move
And
mine.
ways to describe earthy, believe it or not, are actually leather, damp forest, moss, mushroom, barnyard. Can you say moo? And wet soil and wetlands. So that is really interesting because
It
I can
is.
understand wood. Amy, have you ever had? I don't know if we've talked about this. Have you ever had or even smelled lapsang souchong? It looks like lapsang souchong.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think I've smelled
It's
it.
incredibly smoky. So when they dry those leaves,
Mm.
they dry it with pine needles, burning pine needles, and they
Mhm.
let the smoke come up. So I remember in my early days of drinking tea, I kept hearing lapsang souchong, and I'm like, oh, and I went to a tea store and I saw it sitting on the shelf where you could,
Yeah.
measure out your own. And I'm like, oh, I want to, and oh my gosh. I was like, it was so overpowering. It's incredibly smoky. It's very,
Yeah.
very smoky. And my husband loves it. He
Really?
absolutely loves that as one of his, teas. I thought, if I were to ever do a masculine box of tea, I just don't think,
Oh,
and
that's
correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's still a really huge um uh, audience or
right.
and a lot of men still drinking tea in
Right.
this country, not in this
Right.
country. But if I were to ever, that would be at the top of the list. Would be the lapsang
That's
souchong. And to me, it's an incredibly masculine type of tea because of its smokiness.
right. That's a good point. So, I don't know if you remember. There's someone I know that's like in love with that kind of tea. Is it Tammy Sue? Do you remember her?
Somebody brought it up. Somebody
Yeah.
brought it up at
I feel
the
like it.
Cornwall Tea Timers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, well, I'll have to ask her on Friday, but I feel like it's Tammy Sue. It's someone that's been in the group, on the tea
gotcha.
time
Yeah,
group on
I remember
Friday.
somebody bringing it up, and yeah, that
Yeah.
it shocked me. I can't say that I've tasted it. The smell is enough to keep me away from it. But that has been, I mean, the Chinese have been drinking that tea for thousands of years. That's
Right.
just been the way that they've done it. So I'm not going to knock their tradition. It's not for me.
Right. I've not had the smoky tea, but I've had when I went to St. Augustine one time, I forget now, we were at some fun restaurant, but they had all these crazy cocktails and one of them was I forget. I think it was supposed to be like a mule, but it's like a whiskey mule or something, but it
Okay.
was with a like a smoky whiskey and I got it and I was like, it tastes like they just put a cigarette in my drink. Like it was like all smoke.
But by chance, if I say Lafroig Scotch whiskey, does that
Mm-mm.
sound
I
familiar?
don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what it was.
Okay, so yeah, it's a Scotch whiskey from Scotland, and somebody gifted it to my husband years ago, and it's his favorite Scotch. again, my husband is a helicopter pilot too. So there would be times he would be out in the helicopter flying around. He'd come home and he would smell like jet fuel. So I have always had this comparison that when he would drink Lafroig, I'm like, wait, you smell like jet fuel. So then La Song Sushin comes along and I'm like, you smell like somewhere between the meats that you smoke in the smoker on weekends and your jet fuel on your flight suit. Really strong, really strong. So I'm wondering if that wasn't in what was in your drink, because yeah, that's
yeah. I was like, I couldn't. Yeah, I was like, I can't even. And I was with my husband at the time, and it's like usually he can handle, finishing off anything if I needed him to, but he couldn't even drink that one. He's like, oh my God, like, like a cup of smoke.
No, and I can totally appreciate that. That would be me and be like,
Yeah.
thank you. No, tried it, been there, done that, not doing it again. Kind of like
Yeah.
that British, the King's Head pub in St. Augustine that I had mentioned. Went there years ago with my mom, and I wanted to do something quintessentially British, and I ordered the kidney and steak pie, and or steak and kidney pie. And my mom's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Okay, so I'm so glad I tried it. The gravy is delicious. The steak is very tender. I will never order this again." Kidney pie, just not so much. They don't mean kidney beans. For anybody who has that question, they don't mean kidney beans. They do actually mean, sheep kidneys. Yeah. So
yes.
It was
were you expecting kidney beans?
So
were you expecting to be beans?
No, I knew at that point what it was. Yeah. Okay. But and I kept offering, does anybody want to try it? Like, no, we're good. You just do, that's good. No problem. No.
That's hilarious. Well,
you want to try number 3?
Yeah, I'm just getting it ready. So number 3 is our ginger turmeric green tea. And this one was honestly the one I was the most scared of. It seems like there's a lot going on that I'm not sure about. Okay, so I'm smelling.
It smells good. I smell the ginger.
Yeah, I smell the ginger. Yeah, it smells good.
It does smell good.
Okay, here we go.
Ooh, there's a bite.
Yeah, there is.
Your face is priceless.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's a bite from the ginger. There is a strong resemblance to ginger beer for anybody who likes to drink ginger beer, going back to, whiskey drinking, ginger beer and mules and things like that. There's a bite from the ginger, which I don't find out.
I know someone who just likes drinking ginger beer.
Yeah. I get a little bit of the turmeric in there. I had bought, it was an herbal tea. It was not green tea, it was herbal, and it was ginger turmeric. And I was enjoying that in the afternoons. I was trying to find something that I could drink in the afternoons that didn't want me to have so much sugar in it.
Right.
Yeah. So, but this, I like this better. This is more mild than the one I had bought.
Wow. Okay.
So the green tea element, maybe that's a soothing element with it. Maybe they just didn't put as much of the ginger and the turmeric in it.
Yeah. So unlike the other one, the chai green, I feel like this one, the green tea taste is like lost behind the ginger and the turmeric. The ginger, I feel like is good, but then it's like the turmeric, I feel like just like expands in your mouth. It's like a flash.
I think I'm trying to think what you smell too. It definitely, for anybody who can see, I don't know if you can see that. So it's more of an amber flavor. It almost looks like we had brewed black tea and put a little lemon in it, because lemon is a black tea. But there's no lemon in this. And honestly, I like this. The bite is not intimidating. It's not something so overpowering that I wouldn't take this again. This is something I would offer my husband too, and I think he would quite enjoy it. Somebody who likes spicy food, I think would get, would like this.
Oh yeah. The person who gets like child mild when I go to restaurants.
Oh, that's me. I do
not like mild. Kids mild.
Yeah.
So I just added some more sugar to see if that helps me.
I'm trying to see where this might fall.
More sugar definitely helps. As always. Yeah, I could do this, but it's so I guess it's probably because the ginger, but I don't do a lot of ginger of like anything. I used to really not like ginger.
Mhm.
I'm okay with it now for certain things, but when I was in England the last time, in 2018, and I was hanging out with the group of Brits in a country house for New Year's. I arrived from the US and like literally I remember standing at Heathrow in the customs line waiting to go through, and it was like automatically I could feel that I was about to get sick. Like, it's like the tickle in your throat or whatever.
Yeah,
And I feel like
yeah.
usually it comes, I don't know, like sneaks in throughout the day or like you wake up with it. But this one like hit me like the second I got off the airplane. And I was like so sick by evening, which we were like driving out to meet up with all the friends. And it was really nice. They had they had a ton of groceries that they had pre-ordered for our group, but like within the groceries, they had a ton of fresh lemons and a ton of ginger root. And so one of the girls said, she's like, "Do you want me to make you, ginger lemon, whatever?" It's like, I guess I've never. So she's like, it's not even with tea, it's just the hot water, ginger and lemon, and then honey. But I will buy Twining, or I've bought Twinings before where it's like the lemon ginger.
Right.
Yeah, which that is pretty good when I'm sick. Like I like that if I'm feeling kind of sick, probably because of the tie to London. But it's so much better when someone makes it for you
Right.
fresh.
I think that's the same with dinner. Like I'll try a new recipe or I'll do something
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm so disappointed in this. And my kids are like, oh, this is so great. My husband loves it. And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't what I was. I think you're too close to it sometimes. And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
but
Well,
yeah,
we'll have to ask Trevor about that since he's a big cook, a chef. Because I, I am not a cook or a chef. So, and I cook as much as I need to survive.
yeah.
And
And you
um,
drive through the other part of the time. So yeah.
exactly. So, but I was thinking about that. So, like the people who love cooking, and like you like cooking and baking, and you do it so beautifully all the times that I've seen it. Not that I ever get to taste it, but it looks amazing. But then I was thinking about that. So it's interesting to hear you say, like, even though if you're really good at it, it's still not the same as someone else doing it for you.
It isn't. It's the same as it's not much different than should I cook dinner or can we go out somewhere? It's so much more nicer,
Right.
so much nicer. But of course, when you eat at restaurants, the amount of butter and the salt that they put in things to make them taste better, that's so unhealthy for you.
Right.
But I still love going
Oh
out
yeah.
to eat. I miss going out with friends and doing
Hmm.
things like that. So
Yeah.
but yeah. So well, if
Okay.
you're gonna ask me to rate the teas, and I
And
know
I
that you
will.
eventually.
Please rate them.
Okay, so from last to first, the last is the chai green.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a little too off the floral and fruity path for me and for my
I
liking.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's too. Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
It's off of the beaten path that I enjoy, and it's green tea, so it's got that going.
right. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I really don't.
I know
I'm
which one
enjoying.
I like.
I'm enjoying the ginger turmeric green tea. It's very good, and the jasmine green, in comparison with other jasmine teas that I have had, this is very pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
It's not overpowering. It's definitely this is a nice. I would say this is definitely an offering for afternoon tea. This would
Oh
be
yeah,
a
yeah.
feminine tea to put out that would complement the decor. It would complement the food, the sandwiches, the scones, and everything else. Turmeric, you may have a smaller audience for that, but it's very
Yeah.
pleasant. I still like this one a lot. The ginger doesn't bite too much. It's a nice surprise,
Mm-hmm.
and just for something a little different than what we normally drink.
Right. Well, that's good. That's good to hear because I mean, for me, out of these three, it's jasmine all day.
I think I would have guessed that.
but I agree that the chai green, like, next.
Bye-bye. Special order only through the Houses of
Right,
Windsor,
yeah.
right? This is
Yeah, that is for, special palettes. Oh, box, thank you. I love
wanted
it.
to be Vanna White in a past life, but
That's awesome. And I guess the ginger turmeric, it's still not quite for me. I like keep wanting to like it, and I kind of do, but it's like just a bit too, I don't know, powerful, a bit too strong for me
gotcha.
of a flavor.
I
But
can see going
I
back to
can see
that.
how people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, if again going back, if I were to design a box of teas for men,
Hmm.
something strong on the ginger, I think this would be a good offering for it. It's a darker tea, so it doesn't look as feminine,
Right.
and it's also just with that little bit of a punch in there with the ginger. I think it's very
Right.
good. So
Well,
not a
I think, yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, so I was gonna say, so I really like your idea of thinking of like teas for like a gentleman's package. Like, I think
Mhm.
that's cool. You've got something there. But
Run with it, sweetie.
yeah. Oh, no, not me. I was just saying you do it. You're the one, like, you still have to figure out probably at least a third one to go with it. But But I was going to say, and maybe we've talked about it before, but did you know of, like, I'll say a current trend as of 2018, when I was in London, that they have gentleman's tea along with afternoon tea, like it's an option. Do you know
Is that
about?
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's so cool. So like when I went with my friend Claire, we were going for afternoon tea anyway, but you like order on the spot, they've got everything ready. So we looked at the menu and we decided to get one afternoon tea and one gentleman's tea because it's different foods and different teas. And so the gentleman's tea is way more savory than sweet.
I
There's
was
actually,
just
I
guess
think,
that.
yeah, there's
Mhm.
like, I mean, there's the scone, but there's like only one piece of cake. It's like a slice of white cake.
Okay.
But the savory, it was like little Scotch, it was like, the Scotch eggs,
Oh, yum.
like the little fried ones.
Mhm.
And then it had mini fish and chips inside like a mini little like cone of like pretend newspaper.
Oh, how
It's like pasted on. Then it had a mini prawn salad, which for the Americans, that's like a shrimp salad.
right.
And
Yum.
yeah, and there was something else that was some kind of a little sandwich that I can't remember. It was adorable. I mean, it was awesome and so smart, like for the guys to have something better to eat. And
Yes.
really for us to split like all of the food that way, it was perfect because it really balanced out all the sweet of the
I would
afternoon.
imagine, yeah. And it
Yeah.
sounds like, I mean, I know afternoon tea is supposed to be that tie over from a late lunch to a late dinner, but I tell you, I mean, afternoon tea can be very filling.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
there's
Yeah.
enough food that's like, okay, I don't need dinner now. So,
Right. Right.
especially from if you're talking fish and chips and Scotch eggs, and oh my gosh, I'm full
I
just thinking
know.
about it. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
But it was adorable. So that's why
that's
I'm saying
great.
that it would be great if you have your smoky tea, your like spicy ginger teas.
Right. Well, I follow the afternoon tea expert, Eileen Donaghy. She's in London. She's a lovely Irish woman, and she just put out a book too. But she's the expert, the go-to to ask for. I would love to ask her that question. Heard
Oh
about
yeah.
gentleman teas. Tell me about what do you know about those? Because I've never heard her mention that. I've never heard her talk about it. Does she
No.
feel that that is straying too far? That that's too much of a variation? That
Right, right.
that isn't really acceptable? Because she did post one time something soups, about soups
Mhm.
being offered as part of afternoon tea.
Mhm.
And I quickly chimed in. My favorite place, if Amy ever comes up here, I will take her to
Yeah.
Annapolis to Reynolds Tavern. And
Uh-huh.
one of the offerings that they have is she crab soup, and it is just to die for.
Yeah.
It is more cream and butter than it is crab anything.
Right.
That's so good. And you can
And
either
is that part
get
of the tea that
and
comes?
you can get that. So there's colonial tea and there's afternoon tea, and I can't remember which one it comes with, but you can either get the a slice of really phenomenal quiche, or you can get the bowl of she crab soup. And then on top of that, you get your 3 tiers that you share with your
Oh,
friends.
wow.
It's your own pot of tea, and they have a good 30 teas to
Oh,
choose.
nice.
Amazing teas.
Yeah.
So you still get your scone with your, with your jam and spread. And then there are the sandwiches, and then they have little shepherd's pie tartlets
Oh,
and mushroom tartlets.
oh,
And then on the top tier, you get a choice of like a tiny lavender shortbread cookie and a chocolate truffle and a this and a that one. I mean, I'm putting them in napkins going, I'm just going to have to take home because I can't eat all this. But yeah, start off with the soup and you really can't finish anything else.
yeah.
But it's just so good. So I gave her my vote. I'm like, yes. I said, if it's the right kind of soup, absolutely.
Right.
Serve it.
Okay, because she was trying to figure out what people thought, like if they were okay with soup. It's funny because until you mentioned that, I totally forgot that back in little old Yorktown, Indiana, for a while when I was in college, there was a little tea room that they opened up on like the main street, and it was really cute. She unfortunately didn't stay in business that long because, I mean, tea room business is hard enough, but tea room business in Yorktown, Indiana, like.
Poor thing. She finally got her dream and it just didn't.
I know. But she was older, and I think also it was sort of like it was like way more work than kind of what she was expecting, to run it all. But she did a wonderful job, and it was super cute. It was called oh shoot. I think Tea in the Country. So it was like cute. It was pretty and floral, but it was kind of, felt more old lady than like,
Okay. Yes.
which I enjoy. So things like doilies and lace.
Of course. Of course.
And then but she served tea with the like tea, or I mean, sorry, of course she served tea. She served soup, and that was the first time I'd ever had soup at an afternoon tea, and I thought it was great. Yeah. So, but I had totally forgotten about that.
Yeah. Well, when I mentioned it to Eileen, I said, and I was talking about the she crab soup, and she said, "Well, I love crab anything, so I'm not going to say no to it." And so I think that was her polite way of saying, "Okay, maybe."
She's like, "Well, I was looking for the other answer, but okay."
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
well, I subscribe to that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I took another drink of the turmeric ginger, and I'm like, there's something else that it's tasting like for me. You might be right. It might be the ginger beer because I like
I don't know.
mules.
I'm finished. It's all good. I'll suck the bag. That's ladylike.
That'll be a kick.
That fits in with doilies and lace right there.
But you're right. It's growing on me probably because I do like, mules, with the ginger beer in it.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm just used to it being diluted with either like vodka or whiskey.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I thought it was really good. And last month we added the ginger ale to the bubbly.
Right.
And so what if you added ginger beer to this? And you'd really have a ginger kick for sure.
Oh, that's true.
But if you're going to be mixing drinks, but why not? You do that with hot toddies, right? You can put gin or you can put whiskey in your tea. So
yeah,
why not?
That'd be cool.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah.
So we actually went to dinner with 2 other friends of ours, Navy couple. One of them, now my husband and I met at college, and one of the guys also went to college with us. And so we all went out together to a nice dinner. And one of them, they put in a billet to, there are not a lot of Navy jobs in England. There are more Air Force jobs because of the Royal Air Force that's out there, the RAF.
I see.
But every once in a while, you can get a job in England, maybe as an attaché. So her husband is put in for it. And she says, we don't think he's going to get it. And she says, but wouldn't that be great? And she said, if we ever got out there. And I said, yeah, you better believe we'd come out there. She said, yeah, again, I'm not sure we're going to get it. And I said, well, I will keep my fingers crossed for me. She says, well, for me too. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right.
Like, right, yeah, you too. That's
So
awesome.
that would be, I said, like London, or just whereabouts in England? She goes,
Right.
no, London, actually London. And
Wow.
I'm like, wow. I said,
That's
so I'm either coming to see you or, I may never be able to speak to you again. The jealousy, if you think my hat is green.
right. Yeah. Yeah. If you think this is green.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a lot of fun. Very well traveled, both of these couples. One in particular, they've lived in Germany and they've lived in Singapore. And when they lived in these places, Amy's her name's Amy Walker. She is a real go-getter, very, very organized. She's an event planner, and I mean, she just made sure they traveled everywhere. They saw Paris, they saw Rome, they went to Hawaii, they went to Guam, they went all these. And Jose and I are just sitting there eating our dinner, and I'm like squeezing his leg under the table, going, "We have never been anywhere, Most under-traveled Navy couple that I know of." So, but that's it. That was the road we chose. We wanted to be close to family. So,
right.
But maybe this summer, maybe we can go somewhere.
Yes.
We're
And
yeah.
And don't forget Cheryl's trip on the Queen Mary. That's what, 2022, right? We can take the Queen Mary and go over to Southampton and be on a real, like, traditional cruise ship where we get to go to balls and.
Right. Are you going to do that?
I absolutely want to. Yeah, I've never been on a regular cruise, and they've never especially appealed to me. And then when she told me that you could essentially have like an old-fashioned cruise, I was like, what? I want the old-fashioned, like, low-key, as far as, like, activities or whatever. But I like that you can dress up or whatever for dinner and tea. And she did mention afternoon teas. But yeah. And I keep thinking, I haven't said it out loud yet, because, like, if I can, like, live out the first part of Titanic, just the first part,
and not the second part.
Yeah, that's what I'm envisioning.
Yes. Oh, they're fun. We've been on a few cruises, Jose and myself. We went to Bermuda once. We went on a couple of days cruise for our honeymoon. I enjoy them. I like that everything's included, that you just get up and go when there's a show, and there's great food. I mean, the food is just phenomenal. And if you're nice to your waiters, they'll bring you extras. So that's something. But yeah, it's there. I just don't know when we're going to be able to. We have our money tied up right now in Royal Caribbean for the trip that we were supposed to take last year.
Right.
It's still there. They still have our money, because they said, if you don't cancel, we'll give you an additional 25%. So we're hoping maybe the following year, if we can go somewhere really great, rather than just down to some of the places we've already seen before. So anxious to get out there, and it was just nice to be outside today on my own, no children, and worrying, knowing somebody taking care of my daughter's education for me today, which is lovely. It was amazing. So yeah, let alone take a vacation.
Right. Well, that's so aside from the Queen Mary, though, which is not right away, I agree. My goal is to get to England in 2021.
Right.
Because once again, COVID ruined my 20th anniversary trip with Claire.
Right.
We were supposed to see each other 2020, and it made us break our 20-year tradition.
That's right. But not your fault.
I know. So 2021, I've got to go, because we had talked about doing a special trip where we go meet up and, like, do something big together, like Costa Rica or whatever. But then now I was told, I was like, well, it's like I'm kind of itching to get back to my homeland. Like, I kind of don't want to go somewhere else. Like, can I just come to you? And she's like, yeah. She goes, we'll go visit your land in Scotland, my 5 foot by 1 foot.
Yes, exactly. So I can put my toe on it. Just want to rest my toe on it.
Like, yeah, we'll bring a couple lawn chairs and sit there for a second.
And so for the spot, we are suddenly we're supposed to get gusts up to about 40 miles an hour, and I just heard something hit the roof. So some random tree branch just hit my roof.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know. So
Is that
I apologize.
a cold front or a warm front coming in? What's it? What's that wind?
It's probably the warm, yeah, because whatever clouds were there are totally gone now. But we get these gusty winds, man, that I'm sure we had them outside of having a hurricane in Florida, but they're very reminiscent to me of having a tropical storm come through. It's just that the sun is shining. And when it happens at night, I lay in bed going, there's going to be a tree come right through. You've seen my backyard. I've shown you all the trees back there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm terrified that they're going to come through the roof of Jackie's bedroom. So there are times that I have picked up Jackie in the middle of the night and we go sleep in the basement because I don't sleep.
Yeah,
I can't stop worrying.
Right. So okay, so that just reminded me of like totally crazy story. So when I was little, I was fortunate enough that I had a TV in my room, in my bedroom growing up. And it was, I'm trying to think how old I would have been. I don't know if it was like 10 or something, but I was a tween. I was not a teenager yet. I was at least a tween or whatever. But so sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and just like watch shows, but there weren't really good shows on then. And I was always watching VH1 at that time. Yeah. But on VH1 in the middle of the night, they had like these long commercials for psychics. So there was like this one like weird, like, I don't know, old guy, white hair, like not what you'd expect of like a psychic or whatever, but he's basically they tell the story of where he's on the call and he's like, go get so and so out of bed right now, and they go and get them out of bed, and then like almost right away the tree falls through the roof and onto the bed. It stuck with me for how many years, and I'm like, how do you know? So I'm saying to you, I think that's totally fine. If your gut is telling you get her out of bed and go to the basement, get her out of bed and go to the basement.
And go to the basement. Yeah, it's just there's the other side of that part of your head that says you're being irrational. Everything's fine. Nothing's going to happen. You're overreacting. But there have been an occasion or two where even Jose's like, come on, let's go to the basement. So if he's saying then it's definitely time to move down to the basement. But it's funny, and I don't know why this is coming to mind, but you're saying that. And so my good friend Annie, she'll tell you about the time where she was up late night. She was not feeling well, nursing her one and only son. And I don't know if it was postpartum or what, but she was not sleeping and she wasn't feeling well mentally, physically, everything. And suddenly her phone rang. We're talking like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was her mother. And her mom said, I'm just calling to check on you. She says, but Mom, it's the middle of the night. She said, I know, but I woke up and I had the strangest feeling you needed me.
Oh,
weird.
That gave me chills.
I know, right? So strange. So, when things like that happen, like the time that I had a dream about a friend I was very, very close to back in high school, hadn't seen her in 15 years, hadn't even thought about her. She pops up in my dream. And 2 days later, we were out. This boy's really little. We were living in Jacksonville, Florida. And 2 days later, she walked in the door of the place we were at.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa, like you're not going to believe this. So very strange when things like that happen.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. This actually happened recently. It's not as creepy, but it is kind of interesting. So Piper, there was one night, I forget, last week where for whatever reason she just wasn't sleeping well. It's not that she was sick. She had a temperature. She didn't even say she felt sick, but she just it seemed like she just couldn't get comfortable. So she was like up she kind of wake herself up crying like every hour and a half or whatever. And eventually she wanted to sleep on the couch. So she did a little bit better there. And then in the morning, her dad and stepmom and I are all in a group text. And her stepmom texted and just said, how's our little pumpkin doing? And I wrote back and go, well, actually last night was interesting. And I told her about it. She goes, that's really weird because I felt like I heard her shout out twice.
Wow. That is so strange. Sometimes I do think the connections are,
yeah,
that they're, again, I'm going to turn this to something, if women can share once a month, if we can get on same cycle like that,
we
here
can
I
sync
live
up.
with exactly, that I live with my husband, and I can't tell you the number of times that, suddenly just out of the blue, one of us will say, hey, I was just thinking about such and such, and he'll look at me or I'll look at him and it's like, oh my gosh, I just had that same thought. I mean, it's just like, it's so strange the connection that we have sometimes. And then other times when we just are not connected at all.
We're on completely different pages.
Yes. Highs and lows, ups and downs, cycles, whatever you want to call them. So I'm trying to open this box too. This better be what I ordered. It looks like I ordered. Let's see what's in here. Goodies. Oh, another box. Fabulous.
A box inside a box.
It's a great. Inside a box.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and show them off, just because I just think they're so pretty.
Show them.
So I have a new connection through my BNI network, who reached out to me about my teas and different stuff. And she works for Norman Love Confections. So for those of you who don't know, they are, I think, a little more well-known in South Florida, but they've been around for like 20 years. But these things are like works of art. I haven't tasted them yet because I wanted to be able to show off an entire box. But
they're lovely.
They're like so pretty.
That red one is intriguing. You don't usually see such a glossy.
So I'll take. So this one, it's like the shape of a strawberry.
Oh, how fun! So maybe it is.
Yeah, so like different shapes. This one's like a full like shell, like a beach shell.
That's pretty cool.
So anyway, so shout out to Liz from Norman Love Confections.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So I went on the English tea store, and I got 3 of these because I have 2 teas coming up. And here's a 2-tier cake stand. They were on clearance, and you can't find those things for $10, which I just bought them for.
Yeah, that's awesome, because those are very hard.
They're very hard. And then I got this. This is a tea, and it's something that they were offering for Valentine's Day, and it's called. Can you see that? It's on the glare. Across a Crowded Room.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's the name of the tea. Across a Crowded Room.
What is it supposed to have in it? Because I remember they were gonna have Valentine's ones, but they kind of got them late in the season. But I feel like she acted like there were sprinkles and.
Well, I think you can see.
Oh, okay.
There's like a little red, whatever. I can't tell you. It doesn't really. It's just loose leaf tea, so a black tea. I have no idea. I will let you know at a later time. Maybe I'll even send you a sample. But then I got these because these were on clearance and they're just too cute. And if I get to do photos for you, then they may be in some backdrops. But
let's see. Oh, those are cute. I like that. That's awesome.
That's one. Got the big gherkin in it.
Those are giant.
I know. Yeah. Tea towel for what?
I know. Yeah. That's awesome. And nice. Like, so I have that one.
I figured nothing in here was going to surprise Amy, Lady Amy. But yes.
But the other one is bigger than the historical one, right?
No, I think they're the same.
Held up seemed a lot bigger on camera. I don't know. It seemed like it, or maybe it's just the way the picture is.
Nope, they're exactly the same size.
Okay.
Yeah, I could actually put these out as a flag in my front yard and have them waving in the front yard.
Oh my gosh.
My husband would love that.
I know. Yes. Well, I have to tell you, again, thank you so much for this book, but I'm really excited that we have this to go on now.
Yes. Yes.
Really helpful.
How do you describe tea to people that are watching you drink the tea? It's very difficult.
Right.
So I think we've done a pretty good job of it.
Yeah.
But, when it comes down to it, still it's my taste buds and it's your taste buds and it's what we like and what we taste. But for the most part, I think you and I have been able to describe pretty similar aspects of each of the teas.
Yes. Yeah. So I think and I was gonna say I like that. I mean, this is just my personal thing. I like it when we try like brand new ones live together.
Yes.
I had way more fun tasting the last two because I knew what the first one tasted like. So the last two were like, oh God.
Yeah, what's this going to be like? Well, that second one was, it's not something either one of us would have ordered on our
Right,
own.
right. Yes, I bought a very small supply of that one when that
Yeah,
was a special request.
right,
I had
right.
a feeling.
I'm going to be cooking one of these days, and I'm going to smell this, and I'm going to go, "That's what it is," and
Yeah.
I'm going to
And
text
then you
you. I'm
text
going to tell
me.
you what
Yeah,
that
and let
is.
me know. Yeah. That's
I keep thinking it's that celery salt. I'm not sure. I am not sure.
yeah.
Well, next month won't be any surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Either
Okay.
one. The only thing that you and I might be trying that's new to both of us is the German breakfast tea.
Okay, that'll be new for me. I'm not had
Yes,
German. Mm-hmm.
exactly. But I will be sending you. I'll send you 4 samples. We're gonna do 4 this time. Just because
Yeah.
I know you and I both know what English breakfast tea tastes like, but I think if we start with that one, then
Yeah.
everybody knows what English breakfast tea tastes like.
Right.
Not everybody knows what good English breakfast tea tastes like, but
Right.
so if we start with that one, then we can, go through the Irish and the Scottish and the German
Yeah.
and go from there and just be able to compare and contrast, or just go,
Right.
I don't know, they all taste the same, put it in the same pot and drink it.
Right. Breakfast is breakfast.
That's right.
Okay, awesome. And let's see. I was going to say, oh, I know what I was going to say. So for anyone who picked up on us talking about tea time on Fridays,
Yes.
so we have a private Facebook group called Calling All Tea Timers and Anglophiles. And if you would like to join, you can either just go search and find it on your own and request to join, or message me and I will get you an invite to join, because it's a very fun group. If you feel like posting and stuff, you can. There's not a lot of there's no engagement required. Some people just like looking.
Right.
But on every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we get on Zoom. Like basically, I open up a Zoom room. Anyone can pop in for the whole time, or just for 5 minutes, whatever. Yeah, it is a Zoom. That's right. It is a Zoom tea room, and you come in and just socialize like you would at tea, and it is fun, especially if you like talking about British television and movie and the royal family, like either current or historically.
Right. British recipes, British
Right. Oh, right. Yeah.
British blah blah blah.
Yeah, British music. Yeah. So we do talk about tea some, but I will tell you it's Anglophile heavy.
It is very much so. Now,
Yes.
did you read my blog? I know you're a very busy woman, so I know you probably haven't had the chance. But I major shout out to Calling All Tea Timers and inviting people. So yeah,
I heard you and Cheryl talk about it and I did listen to your interview. That was really fun to listen to.
Yeah, we had it. That was a good time. That was a lot of fun. I was able to. I have so much in common with Cheryl because we come from the same era, basically.
Right.
But our love of music and movies, and she's the only one who gets the references I make for Ella Fitzgerald and Frank Sinatra and old movies and stuff like that.
Right. Well, and you guys have seen like all the same British TV from like PBS. So like you've watched like, the same I don't know, years of it. So like I've missed a lot because I don't have PBS.
Yeah.
But
well, and BritBox and Acorn TV, which I still, I go back and forth. So I'm like, on the last of one of the series that I'm enjoying right now on BritBox, and when that's over, I think I'm probably like, yeah, okay, I'm done with that, and I'll cancel that, and I'll go back over to Acorn TV, because there's a couple of shows that have popped up over there that look absolutely riotous, and I think I have to clue in on those. And hoping. Did you ever watch Doc Martin?
No.
Oh my gosh, Amy, I gotta teach Amy some things. Doc Martin, you would love.
The shoes were popular when I was in school.
No. It's so funny. It's modern day, and he lives in a town called the town's called Port Wen, but it's actually based in Port Isaac, and he's been doing it for 9 years. And it's just a riot. He so medical that he doesn't know how to talk or think outside his medical box. It's Martin Clunes, and he's brilliant. But he's in love with this woman, and I'm just going to give you a little teaser. Like, they go on a date, and he says the most exasperating things and offensive things, because he'll just say whatever he's thinking to anybody. And he's a curmudgeon, total curmudgeon. So they're walking, they were in an outdoor concert, and they're walking away, and she pulls him off into a more secluded spot in the trees, and she kisses him. And though you're sure he's enjoying the kiss, he pulls away, and he says, "Are you wearing perfume?" And she says, "Yes, it's called such and such. Do you like it?" And he says, "Well," and he starts describing it in medical terms, and eventually tells her that it has a urine-like quality. And she says, "Are you telling me I smell like urine?" And and he's constantly screwing up his chances with her, but she can't help but be in love with him just the same. It's just right. And like a lot of shows, it's the two main characters seem to be the only smart people in the town, and everybody has their quirkiness, and they're just, it's just fun to watch. It is a laugh after laugh after laugh. So seriously, if you can watch it, you have to watch it.
So is that on BritBox, or where do you watch that one?
I don't remember if that's on, that may be Acorn TV. That may be Acorn. You might even be able to find it on Amazon Prime. It was for a little while on Prime. And also, you heard the Downton Abbey 2 movie is coming out.
Yes.
Not coming out, but they're talking about the production of it. So
Yes, I heard. Yeah, well, I only heard it, I think, because did you post it in the group, or did Cheryl? Someone, yeah, I was like, one of you posted it. And we'll have to talk about it in tea time on Friday, because I realized I don't even remember what I remember loving the first movie. I don't remember what happened in it.
I just watched it again the other day. It's the first time I've seen it since when it came out. Yeah. The dresses are glorious. Their costuming, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I'm looking at my watch. I have to get Jackie off the bus in 10 minutes. Mom time starts back up again. It has been such a wonderful respite today. Picture taking and teaching with Amy.
I know.
This great day. Such a great day.
This is always fun that we get to chat. One-on-one and just do our own thing.
I still want to get you up here, though. I still just come up here. I know you want to get to up and see your friend, but if you ever you're thinking about it.
I want to.
We'll wear our masks if that makes you comfortable.
That's not even it. It's honestly, it's traveling alone with Piper.
I know. I'm sure. I
need a backup.
I get that. Hire the babysitter.
But okay, so I'll let you go, but to wrap things up, so this was the monthly tea tasting with the two tea ladies.
That's right.
Nancy of Cup and Crown and Amy of Houses of Windsor. And check out both of our websites. So yours is cupandcrown.com, right? And mine is housesofwindsor.com.
Right.
So how simple is that?
It's very simple. So simple. You just have to go and do that. See us both. So, all right, Amy, it was great to see you.
Awesome.
Hopefully I can clue in on Friday with you guys.
All right. Thank you so much. Tell Jackie I said hi.
I will. And same to Piper. Have her call me again. She can FaceTime me. Bye. Take care.